So one quick note, right? Whenever you're in this building, any of the kitchens, the one word of caution I will give you is anytime you're plugging these inductions in, right? Try not to plug two inductions into one power outlet, because when you do that, it trips, and then you just need to wait for someone to come and just turn it on, because I can do it, but I don't want to do it because if something happens, then they go like, why did you break it? Right? So that's why, because mine, I think we tried plugging two in, and so it just tripped, but that's okay. Just make sure in future classes, otherwise you'll be stuck, because sometimes it can take them up to 3 to 4 hours to get here. Okay, so you've got your little dough over here. You've got your dead dough. You're not going to need this dough for next week. So if you like, at the end of today, if you want, take it home. You can play with it. You can practice at home too. All right, it's a great tool to have. So anytime you're doing some kind of bread, it's good to just have something to work with. Right? So you can feel free to work with it. Okay, so these will be rested about 15-20 minutes, right? So it's going to be in the perfect condition now to start rolling. Right. Ideally, they shouldn't be too dry on the top. If you find that your dough is slightly dry, you might need a damp cloth just to make sure we roll it really well. Okay. So just gonna wipe that down again, not too wet, and if it's sliding too much, then that's not going to be helpful either. Okay. So grab that one piece of dough in your hand and just rub it between your palms, just to make it nice and long this way. Right. Place that down, and just like we did yesterday, we're going to start off from the center. And we're going to make our way outwards. Start from the center, make your way outwards. We're going to make it as long as 12 inches. And that's how long we're going to try and go, 12 inches. Unlike yesterday where we really tapered the edges, today we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it slightly larger. Okay, so just keep working the center, and then working the flow go out. So once it's 12 inches, hold it in your hand, and then just a little bit of, just dampen that surface a little bit. Take it, twist it all around and overlap. So you're going to place that at the bottom, and you're just going to gently work it. You should see that seam should blend it. Now, once that is done, you're still going to constantly keep working that. So keep turning it around, keep twisting it around, because what you will notice, once you make that seam, that side is going to be slightly thinner than the others. So you need to work it all around so that it's nice and consistent. So you want to try and get it as nice and round as possible and as consistent in thickness as possible. So once you're at that stage, shape, and some pan coating on the edge, just like we did yesterday. Probably not as much as yesterday, because this one shouldn't stick. And I'm going to place it. So show you one more time. So start off with your hands. It's about 12 inches, turn, put together, and roll. If you also, just like what I'm doing right now, I'm just moving my hand, that's going to move the bagel with it, so you can even use that technique if you wish. And you're going to see if you get one really super fast. these ideas of opening up your own crazy restaurant or something? Is that ever your plan? No? Have you thought about it? As you work more, right, you'll always have these ideas. You know what? Oh, I can make. How would I open a restaurant like this? Like this would be so cool. My idea, if I ever were to open a bagel shop, it would be called the Flying Bagel. Because what I would do is kind of have a table, someone doing the bagels here, yeah, and then have the pot of water right across the room. Right, so then as people were passing by, you throw it from one end to the other, just for the fun of it. And that would be cool. Yeah, okay. So that was bagels. Any questions about it? So you're going to do your 6 bagels. Right? You're going to put them on that sheet tray, and then they're going to go into the proofer. They're going to go in the proofer for 15 minutes. Okay? As they're proofing, we'll start working on our Baileys. That's going to be the next thing we're going to do. I would suggest when we do bake off these today, we're going to bake them off on separate sheet trays. Right? Your bagels, 6 bagels go on one tray, your 6 Baileys go on the other. You and your partner can combine your bagels together, that's okay. Right? But try and separate them because the baking time would be slightly different. Okay? Now, for the Baileys, again, take your dough, and this one's a lot more simple. You're just going to try and make a pocket on the inside. Right? So we're going to try not to go all the way through. You still want to have some dough left. And then if you need to just stretch it out with your hands. But that's all you're using, right? You're just going to be using your hands today. So, spread it out, stretch it, and then just place it on there. Grab a second one. So, press down with your fingers. Make a nice pocket, and then do one more. Would have to come back depending on how well your dough is rested. You might have to come back and just widen up that hole a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do now. Perfect. Grab your filling. Make sure it's cold. What happens if you do warm filling? So, yeah, the dough will definitely become wet. Yeah, it also might affect the yeast, right? Because if it's too hot, it might actually kill some of that yeast. That's not something you want. So, grab some of that filling. We'll put it in the sink. Just press it down. Okay. Right. And then some olive oil. Just gonna brush that on the side. Okay, so now that one again is going to go in the proofer 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to leave that here for now. Alright, so what I did was before, I did up some bagels and I put them in the proofer. So maybe, as if you don't mind grabbing some of those, please. Should be right there. Okay, so I already did some up earlier. So see, the spraying really helps because it comes off so easily, right? Again, you want to make sure that you handle them. They're very delicate, so don't try to be rough with them. Nice and easy. So I got my honey water here, Right, that's coming to a boil. Once it's come to a boil, just turn it down to a little bit of a simmer. So about 7 or 8 would be ideal because you don't want it like boiling too much. Right, just gonna turn that over. Yeah. Yeah. Now, besides you're gonna need some mise en place. So you're gonna get a spider. Right? These ones are called the spider. There's a whole bunch sitting right on the side over there. And the other thing you're gonna need is a sheet tray with a glazing rack. Right? These ones are called glazing racks. Again, they're sitting right beside the microwave over there. So take one, and you're just gonna drop it in. Right? Count 10. Then you're just gonna turn it around. Nice and gentle as you do it. Just 10 seconds, and you're gonna take it out. Just gonna start. You start off so late. Yeah, boil it first, it needs to be hot. Yes, and then you turn down.
10 seconds for each side.
10 seconds for each side, yes. So if you leave it in too long, it's going to form too much of a soft crust on the outside, which is going to make your bagel really chewy. So the more you leave it in there, the more chewier it's going to get. Also, there's a good chance that your bagels are going to be that much more dense, because it's just your yeast is going to keep dying, right? Because we've killed some of the yeast on the outside right now with that heat. So the yeast is going to keep dying, and so it's not going to rise up anymore. So it's going to be a very dense bagel. Awesome. Now, as soon as we get that, I'm going to take it and I'm just going to put some oats around it. If it's dried too much, just going to use some water. So, what are the different kinds of toppings you could do in this? Okay, everyone, listen. Okay, everybody, listen. So, what are the different kinds of toppings you could do? Right, you could do sesame seeds. You could do something like like poppy seeds. That's a great option too. If you want, you can leave them plain too. Today we're going to do 3 oat and 3 sesame seeds. What I suggest is when you're doing bagels, try not to add something like dried fruits or nuts, right? Because bagels are baked up at a very high temperature. It's 230 to 220 degrees Celsius. So it is quite high. If you've got nuts on the top, those nuts are going to burn. So that's why I would suggest don't add anything in there. If you did want to add nuts, you could add some in your dough. Like I've seen people do blueberry bagels, you know, kind of those kind of bagels, like sun-dried tomato bagels, stuff like that. So you can add that into your dough, and then you can work with it. So that's a variation that you can do. Okay. By the looks of it, I think you'll get just each one of you is gonna have to use one tray for your bagels because you'll get 6 on one tray. So let's do one tray for your bagels, one tray for your bagels. Right. Once this is done, right, so the next step is going to be just pretty much baking. Okay, we're going to use the rotating oven today. Right, it is set at 220, so you can go right in and you can bake it. However, when you are baking it in, see there's something that says double pan. Right, double pan on the recipe. That means you need to put 2 sheet trays. Right, the reason we do that is because sometimes when there's so much heat at the bottom, it can burn your bagels from the bottom. Right. By putting double sheet tray, heat kind of takes a while to get to it because it's thicker, and that way you'll get a nice even color all over. Okay, so we're going to be double sheet panning this. Both this and the Baileys, we're going to double sheet tray. Right, it says 8 to 10 minutes. So we're going to rotate it at 12 minutes and then 8 to 10 minutes more. So total wait time is about 20-25 minutes on that one. Right. I don't really think you'll need to rotate it in there, quite honestly, because we are using the rotating oven already. But what I would suggest is that about 12 minutes, 15 minutes, go and take a look at it. Right, see how it is doing, and if you feel it's just baking on one side, you can then rotate it. I don't think you would need to. Okay, so here's the plan, guys. It's 9 o'clock. You're gonna go back to your stations. You're gonna start working your bagels. You know, go ahead and bake them. You know all the rest of the steps, right? I'll have a rack and roll, so once your bagels and Baileys are done, take them off and let them cool down. When they're all done, mine should be ready too, so I'll call you over, we'll cut some, we'll taste them. As I said, I've got some cream cheese for you, so we can have some cream cheese bagels, we can toast them and some stuff like that. So we can do a little nice breakfast. At about 10:30, I want to start off with talking about that about the experiment breads from yesterday, right? So ideally by 10:30, before 10:30, at least all your bagels need to be in the oven.
Okay. All right.
That's okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Have fun, gang. Have fun.